Hey there, Wargamers, and welcome back to another Wargames Delivered video. Be sure to visit us at wargamesdelivered.com to get the paints, miniatures, and supplies used in this video, and also to refer a friend. You guys will both get a $15 discount, and with that, let's get into the video. In this video, we'll be continuing our A Song of Ice and Fire tutorial series, this time covering the Night's Watch Sworn Brother. These are your standard hard-hitting anti-infantry soldiers that are pretty hard to remove from the battlefield. To start out, we'll be using Occultist Cloak to paint the padded leather on his outfit. We'll be using much of the same techniques from our last Night's Watch video here, using the dark speed paints to create different off-black kind of tones. Now I primed this mini the same way that I prime all of my Night's Watch miniatures. I used a black base coat with the airbrush, and went over it with a dry brush of medium gray, followed by an even lighter dry brush of just pure white. I hit the face a little bit extra with the pure white so that we can get a really good color on the face tone compared to the darker aspects of the mini. And next up, I switched over to Noble Skin to block in some of the trimming on the mini. This is a great flat dark brown color that really works well over a darker base coat like this one. And the new Speedpaint 2.0 singles will be in our stores soon, but until then we have a huge clearance on the original Speedpaint 1.0 classics over at wargamesdelivered.com, where if you use the code CLASSIC, all capitals, you'll get 5 free speed paints with any purchase of 10. Again, these are the classic 1.0 speed paints. Check out the link below in the description to pick them up, and be sure to use the code CLASSIC, all capitals, at checkout. Moving on to his face here using Peachy Flesh. Another option you can do for this step is go back with matte white acrylic and just cover the face a little bit before we apply the speed paint. This will just help really add a lighter color and tone to the face compared to the darker base coat that we used for the rest of the mini. I wanted this guy to look a little bit older, like he had been at the wall for many years, so I chose Ashen Stone for the hair. And I'm actually really surprised and really pleased with how this turned out over a slap chop base coat. It actually did kind of give me multiple gradients over the hair, which I was very impressed with. You'll kind of see that in the final shots. And now that we have about half of the mini painted, you'll want to start being a little bit more careful around those areas that we've already painted, especially over a slap chop style of basing like this. It's very hard to recreate that base tone, so again, just be a little bit more neat and try to avoid making any mistakes here at this stage. Moving on to Grim Black, and this is going to be sort of the overall theme color of my army for the Night's Watch here, so I wanted it to be pretty prevalent on this model and pretty much all of my other Night's Watch models. So we're going to paint his cloak, his boots, and his gloves with this color, and over this style of a base coat, it really works well. I know Grim Black is one of the colors that some people have kind of struggled with in the past, and I think really the key to making it work well is just using it over a slap chop base coat. Don't use like an all white base coat or an all off gray. It tends to kind of pool and be really noticeable on those kind of base coats. And if you're interested in trying out any other Army Painter paint lines, we have a promotion for all of them over at our website at wargamesdelivered.com, where if you buy 6 paints, you'll get 3 free paints of your choice with your order. There's a link for this promotion in the description below. And now that those steps are done, we can move on to the metallics on the mini, starting out with Evil Chrome here. And I wanted to paint the crossguard and the pommel of the sword here with this. And now that we're working with our acrylic metallics, you'll want to use about 2 thin coats of this color opposed to the speed paint, where we just use 1 solid coat. Moving on to the blade, we will switch over to gunmetal to start this one out. And I'm also going to paint the chainmail and any other metallic bits on the mini with this color. Now the Night's Watch has some of the best weapons and armor in the series, so I really wanted to show that off on my miniatures by taking a little bit of extra time and using the acrylic metallics and going with some washes and some highlights. And you will probably want about 2 thin coats as well of the gunmetal in these areas. And with that dry, we will go ahead and switch over to the wash stage here. And with this, we're going to just use dark tone over all of our metallics and give this about 20 minutes to dry to really add some depth to those shadows. Once that's dry, you can do a quick dry brush highlight over the blade with shining silver, and with that, all that's left is to do a quick snowy base on our Night's Watch sworn brother, and he is ready to guard the wall. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more painting tutorials, and also be sure to check out the top link in the description for the giveaway attached to this video. Thanks again, guys, and happy wargaming!